Right, so just sitting up and ready for this record attempt. 1 hour as far as I can swim underwater. And we're doing it in support of the defence of Ukraine. To try and raise money for supplies and provisions for people who are in shelters and bomb shelters in Ukraine. So right now I'm just going to suit up onto a few warm-up laps, and then we'll start in about 15 minutes at precisely 1 p.m. Bahamas.
I need my reflector back.
Normally I don't use a suit in the pool, but in order to try and do as many laps as possible and raise as much as possible for the effort, you are a little bit quicker swimming in a wetsuit.
And over here? Yes, over here. Here, maybe. Yeah, and you can
Can anyone accurately guess how many laps I'm going to be able to swim? If anyone's watching this, let's try and have a guess now. Place your bets. I have no idea.
What's the goal for today?
At least 100. And I think I can do 100 or more, but I have no idea what it will turn out to. Slava, could you grab that plastic bag just to make sure it doesn't... Thanks. I forgot to turn, there's a hose filling up the pool, topping it up. It's just around the corner there. If you could turn it off. Thanks.
What'd you say?
You can swab if you want to.
That's good.
Hand me that, please. Thank you. Again, the purpose of this fundraiser is for the nation of Ukraine that has been currently invaded by Russian military. The Ukrainian civilians are in a lot of danger, and all of the funds that are raised today are going to be transferred immediately via Ukrainian Distribution Center to the families that are currently in shelters with dwindling supplies. The bank account is managed by a Ukrainian national, and the service we are using has agreed to waive all of the transaction fees. You can pledge to support the campaign with an amount per lap or a flat donation, including during or after the attempt has concluded. Every little bit helps, so thank you for your support for the Ukrainian effort. Again, you can find these links on William's Instagram page, on Facebook, and other social medias. So please pledge your donation now, again, either by lap or as a flat sum.
Okay, so I think I'm ready to go. I think I've got the right
Minutes.
Just going to flush some water through the suit because I'm more worried about overheating. If I do tell you that I'm overheating, could you just grab this like a water, like cold water from that, and just bring it over? And at the end of the lap, I'll just pour some up and I'll give it something. Right on.
What's the time?
12:57, 12:58.
All right, 2 minutes.
One minute 30. 1 minute 30. One minute to official top. Thirty seconds. 20 seconds. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2,
Here we go.
official top.
Again, this is a fundraiser to support the efforts to support Ukrainians that are currently being invaded by Russia, and all of the proceeds are going to be directly put into a fund that will be distributed directly to families that are currently in shelters. So the bank account that is being managed by a Ukrainian national, and all of the service fees have been waived. So we don't have to worry about that. You can pledge your support to the campaign with an amount per lap or a flat donation, including during or after this attempt. So please support the Ukrainians and pledge now. You can find the links on the Instagram page, you can find the links on Facebook. So please use the resources that we provided for you to go ahead and make that donation. So what you are seeing now is William trying to do more than 100 laps along this 25-meter pool on a single breath. No fins, no assistance, is all manpower and ability to hold air for a very long period of time. Along with everyone here who is helping support the Ukrainian effort and William's attempt, we also have everyone here to support in person. All right. Don't want to say it out loud just in case it's like that. So again, the nation of Ukraine has been invaded by the Russian military, and Ukrainian civilians are in a lot of danger currently. All of the funds raised by this effort today are going to be transferred immediately via Ukrainian distribution center to families currently in shelters. The bank account that is being sent to is being managed by a Ukrainian national, and the service we are using has agreed to waive all of those service fees. So we don't have to worry about those service fees that we normally have to deal with. So please make that donation. You can make donations following the links on Instagram, on Facebook. You can find everything that you need there, and you can make a pledge either per lap or you can make a flat rate donation, whatever suits you. Everything that is donated is highly appreciated, and again will go directly to Ukrainian families in need that are currently in the shelters. So again, this is a very dynamic type of swimming. There are no fins involved. It is all on a single breath. Spanning the entire length of the pool.
You're a very good announcer.
Oh yeah.
I think so, you know. What do I know?
What we got? All right. The goal is to attempt to do over 100 laps along this pool. Again, this is on a single breath of air with no assistance. There's no fins involved. So it's a very dynamic form of swimming. You know, maybe some of like what it takes to do this.
It takes a lot of everything, resistance, mental will. It's extremely tough, and a high tolerance to CO2. Basically, this is a very tough CO2 table. So due to the short recovery times in between the laps, yeah, so it's challenging. It's very, very short time recovery.
Mm-hmm. And how long we're going to be doing this for?
So
Yeah.
already 9 minutes.
9 minutes in, and we are at 18. Yeah, 19. He's very confident that he can do at least 100, but he's shooting for over 100 laps. Again, this effort, this attempt is in support for Ukrainians. The nation of Ukraine has been invaded by Russia, and there are a lot of families, a lot of people that are currently in need. And all of the funds that are raised today are going to be wired directly to a bank account that is being managed by a Ukrainian national that's going to be able to distribute those funds directly to the people in shelters that are most in need right now. So you can make those donations either per lap. Again, we're shooting for 100 or more. So either make a donation by lap. There's one. Did someone make a donation on that lap? I sure hope so. Who wants to support this lap right now? You can make a pledge on this lap. Or you can just make a flat rate donation. Or maybe if you want to make your pledge when he reaches a certain goal, 50, 75, or maybe that treasured 100. Like you heard before, one of the main issues having to deal with this type of swimming is CO2. There's a very short recovery time, hence the breathing. So again, this is all on a single breath, not fin assisted. Very challenging, very dynamic. Oh, we just got a comment. Relax, Will. You can do this. That's right. He can. He can and he will. It's for a good cause. Thanks for the comments. All appreciated. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask.
With the completion of that lap, that was a quarter of the way to 100.
Hey. We have a whole menagerie out here to support Will in person. I'm watching him complete this feat. And also here to help support this effort to raise funds for Ukrainian families in need currently in the shelter. Again, this is a very long pool, and he is doing this on a single breath for each lap. The goal is to reach at least 100, hopefully more. He says he wants to try and get to 110, possibly even 120 laps for this effort. Again, to raise funds for Ukrainian families in need currently in shelters.
And it's a 25-meter pool.
Mm-hmm. There he is, about to come the full 25 meters again. Does somebody want to make a pledge on this lap? I think we need to get some pledges on this lap right here. We are officially over a quarter of the way to 100. With still plenty of time to go too. So he might be making it to that 110 or 120 laps. Do you know something about the breathing style? Breathing so deeply and heavily?
Yeah, well, in between laps, he needs to really heavily, and it looks like a hyperventilation kind of breathing, but obviously he doesn't have the time to upload the CO2 from his body, so it's just the necessary kind of breathing you need to recover in between laps. Yeah. Already 15 minutes.
15 minutes in?
And this is the 30.
30.
We're at 31. It's about to be 32.
Well, she's we're clicking it 2 times every time he gets back to this point. So all the way down 1, all the way back 2, 2 clicks.
You're very good at that.
Probably looking like this much is showing.
Oh, we got a comment. Go, go, go. I hope he gets many more laps. Going for $1 a lap. Yeah, there we go.
Got some pledges!
That's fantastic. Thank you so much. Again, this is a 25-meter pool. And he is swimming the entire span, the entire length of the pool on 1 breath, unassisted by fins. With very short recovery times in between to maximize those number of laps. That way we can maximize those numbers of pledges. We've already had one person say that they're going to be donating $1 per lap. So, I mean, if that's not a reason for Will to go for that full 100 or 110 or more, that's a big reason to do that. Keep on going. Is there anyone else that's currently watching that is doing a per lap pledge? Do we have anyone that can also match that $1 per lap? Again, very short recoveries. We are on 39, oh, 36. Yeah. Yes, 36. Even numbers.
Yeah, if it continues like that, should be fine. Should be able to hit 120.
Yeah?
120, hopefully.
Okay, so if you couldn't hear that, just in case, if he keeps up with the pace that he's currently doing, we might be able to reach that 120. Again, along with everyone who is currently watching online with us live, we have a number of people here that are also here to support this fantastic effort. Well, wish we didn't have to have this fantastic effort, but as it stands, Ukraine has been invaded by Russia, and there are many people, many families that are currently in need, which is why we are here doing this fundraiser. Ukrainian civilians are in a lot of danger, and all of the funds that are raised today are going to be transferred immediately to Ukrainian Distribution Center, and that bank account is managed by a Ukrainian national, and so those are going to be able to be dispersed immediately to the people who are most in need currently in shelters. And the bank that we are wiring these funds through is waiving all of those service fees. So every single penny that you donate to this cause is going to be going directly to those families in need. So be sure to make those pledges. Again, we've already had folks say that they are donating $1 a lap. If we could get every single person watching doing that, that would be unbelievable. We would definitely reach our fundraising goals and maybe even then some. So go ahead and make those pledges. It could even be 50 cents a lap or whatever you can afford. If you just want to make a flat donation, we are welcome to anything you are willing to give. And again, all of these funds, every single penny is going to be going to Ukrainian people in need. So again, going along and walking the entire length of this pool, it is 25 meters, so very, very long. And William is able to swim this on a single breath. And he's doing it very quickly, very short recovery times on these laps so that he can maximize the number of laps that he's doing. And again, all of this is an effort to raise funds to help Ukrainians in need because the country is currently being invaded by Russia and there is a mass exodus, lots of people in shelters that could really use your help. So you can see how he's maximizing the distance that he can travel with every stroke so that he can go as fast as possible in as little time as possible. And then have these incredibly quick recovery times. All right, look at that. We are almost halfway to 100. This is fantastic, and we're not even halfway through yet. Let's go take a look at the timer to see how much time we have left. So we are only at 22 minutes, so we still have plenty of time left, tons of time, almost halfway to 100. I think he's gonna do it.
He is. I'm sure he is.
So we'd love to hear from you too, who are currently tuning in live to see this attempt and to help support this amazing effort. So we've already heard from some folks about what types of pledges they've made. What kind of other pledges have we had so far? If you've pledged to this, let me know what you've pledged. could be $5, could be 500.
It's fine if it's all the quarter.
Yeah.
I guess.
That was 50.
That's 50. That's nice. Yeah.
That's 50.
So we just reached 50, halfway to 100. We are only at almost 20, not even 25 minutes yet. So we still have more than halfway to go, which means that we might be very well to reach that goal of over 100, 110, maybe even 120 laps. Again, this is a 25-meter length pool that he is swimming on a single breath, unassisted by fins. You can see how he's trying to maximize the distance he can go with each one of those strokes so that he can go as fast as possible, as much as possible.
Looking great, Will.
Over halfway to 100.
What was that? He's half what? He is half fish. I think you might be right. So again, this attempt at trying to do all of these laps in a single hour on this 25-meter pool is to raise funds for Ukrainians in need, because the country of Ukraine has been invaded by Russia, and there are lots of people, lots of families that are currently in a lot of need. And so if you make a pledge, it can be $1 per lap, it can be 50 cents per lap, or maybe if you just want to donate $25 one time and call it good. Whatever you want to give, it is highly appreciated, and every single penny that you donate will go directly to Ukrainians in need. Carter, you want to pass it off so I can stay in the shade for a bit?
Yeah, sure.
Sweet. All right. It's been fun hanging out. We're going to pass it off.
Thanks, Dana. Yeah, like as Dana said, anybody who's just joining us now, this is a fundraiser for Ukrainians who are in need, and this is William Trubridge, who's a world record holder in the world of freediving, who's on premise at his own residence, trying to do over 100 laps in the next hour. Any and all donations are appreciated. I think he's on track right now to take over 100 laps in the next hour. All service fees for any donations are being waived. Everything's greatly appreciated, and you know it's going to a good cause. You can notice how he's breathing right now. We'll take a closer look as he gets down here to the other side, but it's very unlikely that he's dealing with any low oxygen levels right now. Kind of the battle that he's fighting is dealing with a lot of buildup of carbon dioxide, or the byproducts of metabolism from all this physical activity. And so he's coming up and breathing it off, breathing out that CO2 and of course, oxygenating a little bit, but the big struggle again is going to be that kind of building up over the course of the swim. So it doesn't look like he's fatiguing though. And we've got a sellout crowd, a standing room only crowd here today. I'm gonna get you guys a better view at the under end of the pool here. And just for anybody watching, we were on Long Island in the beautiful Bahamas. And this is a 25-meter lap pool, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. So you've got some of the other instructors from the Vertical Blue freediving school that are kind of here to support and help out today. Some students from a class that's going on here too at the moment. Gonna give you guys some color commentary, but also just give you a chance to kind of appreciate the breeze and the silence of it. It's kind of like freediving. It's a pretty intense event, but not a whole lot of noise. It's kind of a, on the surface at least, it's kind of a quiet, you know, peaceful thing to observe despite the kind of extreme exertion that's being exhibited right now. I don't know about anybody here, but watching this makes me want to go swimming. And just for anybody joining, this is a fundraiser considering the ongoing Russian invasion of Ukraine and the many Ukrainian civilians that are in great danger. All funds that are going to be raised through this are basically going to be transferred immediately via Ukrainian distribution center to the families that are currently in shelters, that have dwindling supplies, and that are having quite a difficult time at the moment. So the bank account that all these donations are going to is managed by a Ukrainian national. The service they're using has agreed to waive any transaction fees, so no worry about that. You can do a one-time donation, you can do a lump sum, you can do it by the lap. Anything's encouraged and helpful. If anybody out there hasn't checked it out, go take a look at Vertical Blue freediving courses, give that a Google. And so one of his concerns before this, interestingly, you know, it's a nice, cool pool, and it's a nice day to go for a swim, but he's concerned about overheating at some point. So there's a lot of cold drinks on hand, and he's kind of communicating his needs in that regard pretty frequently. And again, if anybody watching isn't familiar with who William Truebridge is, that's worth looking up online. Pretty big name in the freediving community. I'm assuming anybody who's watching right now is familiar with who exactly is swimming in this beautiful pool, but if you're not, it's worth checking out. It's a pretty difficult feat being attempted here for a pretty worthy cause. So. gonna let him swim this lap, and we'll get a little closer up just so you can kind of, you know, film his recovery between laps here. But I don't know how many people out there have tried to swim 25 meters in a pool before, but it's certainly challenging, let alone doing it back to back over 100 times. He's got a weight around his neck, if anybody can't see it from home, just to kind of help him reach an ideal buoyancy for the whole affair. And so again, it doesn't matter if it's $1, if it's $5, if it's $10, whatever you got, it's all going to a worthy cause. No service fees. "70 laps so far. I just want to say hello, instructors and course members from the Vertical Blue course. I'm gonna wave hello. Yeah. Again, we're on Long Island in the Bahamas at a home of William Trubridge while he attempts to do 125-meter laps in an hour, and is on course to certainly do that much at this point. "74 laps so far.
So at the end of this lap, he'll be 3/4 of the way to his 100 lap goal.
And we are, it's about, I don't know, almost 50 minutes into this effort. It's our exact time here.
36 minutes in.
Actually, sorry, way overcalled that one. 36 minutes in.
And this will be lap 75.
Lap 75.
75.
Yeah. Doing great, looking good. And again, anybody who's just joining in, this is not just an impressive physical feat, but this is a fundraiser. Any money raised today is going to go directly to support Ukrainian families who are struggling with the outbreak of violence in Ukraine at this time due to a Russian invasion. All service fees from any donations are going to be waived. Fees are going to be, the money is going to be transferred nearly immediately. It's all going to go to families and individuals who are in need. So feel free to make a one-time donation. Doesn't matter if it's $1, $5, $10. If it's a certain amount per lap, just consider giving a little something. We're all lucky to have the time and comfort to watch an effort like this right now, and certainly to be in the Bahamas or where we are in the comfort of our own homes. So it's always a good thing to consider supporting others in their time of need. Probably closing in on 80 laps here. Pass everybody off to Travis Keeling. He's an esteemed emergency physician and avocado farmer in Ventura, California. He's going to give you the lowdown on what's going on right now. So.
Totally blown away by this attempt. Let's see where he's at. Okay, so he's still going. He's kept pretty consistent pace each time. We're coming up on 90 laps pretty soon. And you see he's got this really big pull with his arms. Gets a ton of distance each time. You got to imagine after the time he's been doing this, how intense it must feel with that CO2 in his body.
Probably worth pointing out, folks, that the donations right now are $7,435. So
$7,435 have been raised thus far.
how sick would it be if we could stack up 10 bands by the end of this?
Big push off the wall, gets that big pull with his arms. So we are past the $7,400 mark. Anyone's been thinking about donating and waiting for a good time, this is a great time right now. We're coming up on the last quarter or so of his swim. If you notice that thing around his neck, he's got a weighted neck collar, so he's not fighting his buoyancy as he goes underwater like this, giving him a little bit more opportunity to get streamlined. It's even hard keeping up with him walking alongside. I think we should check in with the lap count. That's 90.
Yeah. 90.
You're at 90, William. Great job. Woo! 90.
Where's that money?
Do you want to see?
Dana, I'm going to hand the phone over to you.
All right. All right, so we are approaching lap 91 now. So I don't know if there's anyone else out there that is doing pledges of $1 per lap, but that would be fantastic if we could get people doing that. We would raise all sorts of funds for families in need. So let's go ahead, let's check in. Let's see what we've raised so far. Let's see what we've raised so far. And again, you can make per lap donations. You can make a flat donation. I think so.
7,535.
There we go. So let's get that number up. That's fantastic that we've raised that much money. Thank you all so much for making those pledges. And let's keep making those pledges. We are almost to 100 laps. We still,
Minutes already.
45 minutes, almost to 100. We've been doing about 1 lap per 30 seconds. So if we keep that rate up, we're definitely gonna hit that goal of at least 100. We're definitely, or possibly even gonna reach 110, 120. Let's see how far we can go. Again, these are very quick recovery times. He does not take much time at all between when he gets out of the water, takes those big, deep, quick-paced breaths, and then gets right back in to try and make as many laps as possible for this fundraiser. Will you tell us again about what this type of breathing he's doing for this recovery time?
Yeah, just strong, heavy breathing so he can offload as much CO2. I mean, not much because it's such a short time, but just to be able to recover as fast as possible and do another lap. So yeah, quick, strong breaths.
And what is probably the hardest part about doing this type of feat?
This is all about CO2 tolerance. So this is something you build up through years of training. Being used, the body being used to tolerate such a high level of CO2, because this is in such a short time here in between the dives, you don't have enough time to get rid of all that excess of CO2. So that's something that's quite uncomfortable for the body. It triggers some chemoreceptors in our brains and in our brain, and it makes it very, very uncomfortable for the mind.
And what are some of the risks that doing this type of swimming can do?
There's little risk actually. I mean, there's absolutely no risk of hypoxia because the breath holds are relatively short, so the body will never go into or reach even hypoxia. So William will always have this high enough level of oxygen in his body, so there's absolutely no risk of blacking out or samba. Yeah, it's more the fatigue. I mean, on the muscles, and mentally, it's extremely tough.
All right, so let's go ahead and watch these last 2 laps because this is going to get us to lap 100. These last 2, just finished up lap 98. So let's do these 2. Here we go. Yeah, 100 and above. We're definitely going to get over 100, possibly 110, maybe even 120 if we can keep up the incredibly quick pace that he's been doing. Again, this is a 25-meter length pool, and he is doing it on a single breath, very quickly. Let's get those pledges in. Let's get this pledge in for this big lap of 100. So come on, drop those pledges. We've already raised over $7,500. Let's get that to 8,000. I think we should at least get that to 8,000. So come on, let's get these pledges in and support all of the people in need that are in the shelters in Ukraine. Again, Ukraine has been invaded by Russia, and these funds that are being raised today is going to be going directly, here we go, lap 100. 100. Keep going. All of the funds that are raised today are going to be going to Ukrainian people in need currently in shelters. Every single penny that you donate today is going to be going directly to the people who most need it. The funds being raised today are being transferred to a Ukrainian account being managed by a Ukrainian national, and the bank has agreed to waive those charges that come along with transferring funds. So again, every single penny that is donated is going to be going directly to the people who most need it. So go ahead and make those pledges. We are now over 100 laps. How much time do we have? 51 minutes. So we're at 51 minutes. We only have about 9 minutes to go. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can get to. There we go. Yes, lots of claps all around. Thank you for the comment. Thank you all for the pledges. Again, this is a very dynamic form of swimming. Again, we have these incredibly quick recovery times, hence the style of breathing. And you can see as he swims, it's very controlled. He's very intentional with how he's moving his arms, how he's moving his legs. He's moving quickly, efficiently. And all of this is in an effort to raise as much money as we can for people in need currently in Ukraine.
So the clock will officially stop at 2 p.m. So we have about 8 minutes.
About 8 minutes left. Now Will's been training practically his entire life, I assume, for this type of activity, for this type of exercise. So he knows exactly what he's doing and exactly how to keep himself safe. Biggest risk today is possibly overheating because we are in this very warm Bohemian sun. $106, and we still have more than 5 minutes to go. We're definitely going to reach at least 110. And again, all of these funds being raised today are for people in need currently in Ukraine. The nation of Ukraine has been invaded by the Russian military, and so they really need help, they really need support. And again, every single penny that you all donate is going to be going directly to people in most need. All of the funds raised are going to be transferred immediately via a Ukrainian distribution center, and that account is being managed by a Ukrainian national. And so the service we are using has agreed to waive those transaction fees. So every single penny, every nickel and dime that you donate is going to be going to people in need. Oh my God, a micromanager, I'm fine. Oh, am I? Okay. Okay. We are probably almost at time, almost reached 1 hour. Again, the goal for today was to see how many laps. Oh, we've reached 110. We still have 5 minutes to go. Woo! Let's try and reach that goal of 120. And let's keep making those pledges come in. 5 minutes left. So whether you're pledging $1 a lap, 50 cents a lap, whether you just want to donate $5 or if you wanted to donate 500, every single dime is going to be going directly to support people in shelters in Ukraine. So along with all of the supporters that we have online streaming in live to Sewell's effort, we also have everyone here to support him in person, to see him reach a personal goal as well. Let's see when he's coming back. Thank you all so much for joining us live to see this attempt at reaching a personal goal, reaching these goals of 100 laps, we've already reached 110 laps. We might reach 120. Yeah? So we're going to be at 114 when he finishes this lap. Again, we've already had people say that they are pledging $1 per lap. If we can have many more people do that, we're definitely going to be reaching some fundraising goals here. And again, every single penny that you donate today is going to be going directly to support Ukrainians currently in the shelters. Transaction fees have been waived by the bank that we are working through, so we don't need to worry about money getting wasted. Everything is going to support people directly. Let's take a look at that timer.
3 minutes left.
114. 3 minutes left.
We should tell him so maybe can accelerate the pace, you know, reach 120.
Yeah?
Because he's very close to 120.
Let's try and do it.
Is he trying to break a record?
Yeah. He's almost there.
Is this a world record?
116.
2 minutes 30. 2 minutes 30. 16 laps.
We're letting him know where he's at, so maybe he can actually pick up the pace a bit and beat records. So everyone streaming in live today, you might be seeing some record-breaking swimming here today. Again, this is a very dynamic form of swimming, not assisted by fins, taken under on a 25-meter length pool in a single breath. We have already reached over 115 laps. We're at 116. We only have a couple of minutes left. Let those donations come in. We appreciate all of the support you can give. Again, every single penny being raised today is going directly to Ukrainians in shelters that really need our assistance right now since the Russian invasion.
1 minute 30. 130, Will.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna reach 120. How about we get some pledges? Let's get some pledges for that 120. We need some good pledges for that 120. So show some support.
I think we also need to support Will and clap him up for this next one.
Yeah, we're gonna be hyping them up, getting hyped. How about we get hyped online too? Show us your hype through those donations. We are gonna be doing some record breaking today.
1 minute, Will.
119, you got it.
Breathe. 1 minute.
Here we go. This is lap 120. Put those pledges in. That's why he's doing this. He's doing this to break records and raise some funds for Ukrainians in need.
45 seconds.
25 seconds.
45.
Woo! Woo! Let those pledges come in. He is doing this for a cause. We've already raised over $7,500. Let's reach 800 or 8,000. We've already surpassed 800, then some. Here we go. Woo!
Well done. Well done, Will.
How do you feel?
Exhausted.
121.
121.
121.
Nice. My most kind of like ambitious goal was 120, so. Whew.
We got some great pledges in. Pledging $1 a lap. So.
Nice. Good stuff. Thank you everyone for your support, and thank you for helping the brothers and sisters in Ukraine when they need it most. Yeah, my head's still spinning a little bit. That was intense. Yes, please.
So how much money have we made so far?
$7,735.
Thank you all so much.
There we go.
Again, you can keep on making those pledges. The pledge is, or the fundraiser is going to keep going on, even though Will's now ended his laps. So keep making those pledges.
Yeah, I'm not sure when it ends, but we'll keep it going for at least 24 hours from now. So if you still care to pledge a little bit more, then thank you very much.
Well done.